see is the public is making choices like never before based upon brand responsibility and trust.
There's a whole different level of challenge that marketers are facing, and that is developing trust with their public.
We're living in a different world where distrust is paramount with probing questions. And I'm not talking about from journalists, I'm talking about from people in the streets.
There's a currency called trust that is critically important, and it becomes a bigger and bigger part of this real interaction with the public.
In fact, the Facebook analogy really, to me, comes into play here. You know, they've created this concept of like. They've redefined the word like, and globally now, you know, people like a brand on Facebook. And the whole new definition to like really transcends into brand marketing. As a brand, the challenge that we have as brands is to actually get people to like us.
There are some real financial benefits to brands, not only short-term but over the long term, that can't be discounted.
The public wants to know the ins and the outs of a brand and a company.
You know, this is a very discerning public. They'll certainly recognize a company and a brand that is being sincere, being very transparent. I think it's critical to be transparent for these brands, and it takes time.
Through shared responsibility, through shared resources, through shared passions, brands have the opportunity to be much more a fundamental part of people's lives than ever before.
I think we're at a point in time where most senior level marketing folks are at the point where they're starting to understand that they need to embrace this new imperative.
Again, gone are the days where a brand can just be a brand behind a logo. You've got to be human.
And most senior level marketing folks understand that this is something they have to embrace. I think the challenge for them is how. You know, how do we embrace that? And I think that's where healthy living marketing comes into play.
What we do is we build relationships through shared experiences.
The people that we need to reach as brand marketers can exist in multiple places.
The new marketing imperative demands that we shift our brand communication from a me perspective to a we or community perspective.
It's more about creating lasting interactions and ones that grow over time.
The way that I'm going to find whether or not I like that company is by the experience that they create for me. And that's both online and offline.
There's a tremendous amount of opportunity in relationship building to utilize both sides of the house, both online and offline, because at the end of the day, it is about a relationship. It is about being a part of a community.
I always speak about the 3 E's of content: educate, enlighten, and entertain.
And that's what we try to do, is we try to focus on coming up with ideas to create these user interactions where dialogue can be fostered.
There are discussions going on 24/7, year-round, every minute of the day about your brand.
So I've got to develop a content strategy that addresses all of the needs that I understand about my buyer.
You have to be a part of the conversation. Brands have to be a part of the conversation. At the end of the day, marketers are looking to try and develop relationships and maintain those relationships with people who are drawn to their product.
The better marketers are obviously not going to lose sight of the fact that the transaction will remain and all those needs will be there. But finding a way to take that message and develop trust, not only in the words that you use, but the actions that you take, are going to be critical moving forward.
It's clear that people, by and large, are rewarding brands who have aligned themselves with social responsibility messaging that goes far beyond just a campaign tactic.
If you want to be a part of the consideration set amongst this growing mass of people who really value transparency and trust with brands, then you've got to have a message and actions that support your messages to be considered.